Welcome to Tokyo in the new Spec 3 Power Pack update. We're running along in the EP3 at the moment, setting a qualifying time because this new update gives you practice, qualify and then race. So you get an hour's worth of practice, up to you whether you want to fulfill it. 10 minutes of qualifying dependent on the track, so the longer the track, the longer the qualifying session, and then you join in a race. Right now we are position 4 and hopefully we're going to be able to beat Gallo in position 1 up ahead. So we're going to be setting a pretty quick lap time. Now this car is relatively fast. Bearing in mind though, it's still front wheel drive, so understeer is a thing in this car, to be honest. It really does understeer, but I think where the problem lies as well is we are running sports hards tyres, whereas I think it would have been far more beneficial, obviously, to be running soft tyres. And I think as well it would have been a bit more fun, because although, you know, hard tyres make things a bit more challenging, for a track like this and a car like this, super softs would have been absolutely awesome here. The insane grip you would have had and the fun of not hitting the wall like I just did there would have made all the difference. Thing is though, this is my qualifying lap and cars don't ghost in this game, so I've got to make sure I pass in one piece with the understeer of the wall. Thank you, wall, saved me there. Setting a 129.2, so get up position 1 up to a point where Gallo did manage to beat me there. Sadly, we do have a standing start, so nothing but wheel spin as we pull away. The older Civics that we have in this race as well do seem to have that little bit more grip, whereas I gain in top speed. Now, I would have got paid more, like 10 or 20% more, if I picked those Civics over this one. Not knowing actually how much the race pays out, 10 or 20% could mean very little, or could mean a lot. So I decided to stick with the EP3 and go from there, really. Managing to try and get our way past this Honda Civic to our right. I've got to be honest here, credit where credit's due. The AI is absolutely brilliant to race until you touch them. And for some reason, as soon as you touch them, they absolutely crap themselves and heavily back out or fall off the track. You get to see that a bit later on. It's not really you can fall too far here, seeing all those walls all around us. They are competitive though, and they can be aggressive. And aggressive to the point where they will retaliate if you bang them off the track or anything like that. So keep an eye out for that as well. It's kind of funny really, and it kind of came unexpected. The dive bombs they do, some of them, is absolutely insane. Hopefully we're going to have to make a move on this Civic in a moment. Gallo is pretty quick, and like I say, that car massively outshines in the handling department. I think this one here really does suffer from the old understeer. Well, obviously Flash, it does suffer from understeer, but let me explain a little bit better. They can get onto the power earlier with less understeer than I can get onto the power, so although I can beat them in top speed, like as you can see now, they're definitely better in the old cornering side of things. Okay, Gallo is actually putting up quite the battle here, cutting the nose off the car ever so slightly there. And hopefully we're not going to be too much under pressure from the cars behind, because the cars behind see an opportunity, they will take it. And I'm going to try and take this one here, absolutely send it up here on the inside of the next corner, braking down the 4th gear. Bit of contact with Gallo there as I was still on the brakes, and you can see all bottlenecking behind, not knowing what to do, freaking out. Okay, let's reset. Don't get me wrong, it is only a 3-lap race and it is full high speed. It's an absolutely brilliant circuit to race on, and nothing but a blast, and screaming the life out of the Civic is the best fun I've had in a while because it just sounds incredible. But we are on our final lap now, and Gallo is still really keeping the pressure on. Although they have managed to break away from the cars behind them that they bottlenecked in, you see him looking to make a move on our right hand side there. Ultimately I close that door off, forgetting that cornering is not just optional, it's kind of needed. Thankfully we didn't lose the position to Gallo behind us, because you can't actually restart this race. You actually got to finish it and then resubmit yourself into the race and pay the fee as well for it. Thank you to the 20 stars we've just received there. Heading over to another qualifying session. This track is actually great fun as well, except for the little hairpin at the end, or well, halfway through. That kind of is very tight, and it is what I'm going to call dive bomb central, because it really is. You've really got to cover the inside. So even the AI would think absolutely send it in there on you. At the moment we've set a 1:52.059, which is not too bad of a time, to be honest. Although I think the AI is going to beat that ever so slightly. We need to make sure we actually get P1, because this car off a line is not that great, and you can see braking as well is not all that amazing in this car either. At least it comes out of corners pretty well, and keep revving the absolute valves out of it. It just screams on forever. I mean, we're already almost a second up this part of the lap, which is great news. Flat out through this section here. I know it gets dark and the lights do take a little bit of a while to come back on. Just got to brave it, chance it, send it. And that's pretty much it. Sadly, although it's a qualifying lap, again we're catching up to a car that again we need to overtake and hopefully not lose any time as we get past them here. Great place to actually make time up from the AI is through this section here, because they heavily brake, move out of the way, you can absolutely send it through here. As long as you hit that left hand curb and not the right hand curb. I hit the right hand curb once, I went into the wall. Hit the left hand curb and the car does settle out the other side. AI absolutely bricks themselves, slows right down. Just a great place to make time. Train to our left, that thing is distracting. Last time I saw that train I went straight into the wall, forgot that I had to turn. So bear that one in mind. It is a popular train and it is a hell of a distraction. Getting an awful start off the line. 1, 2. Is there going to be a third? I'm waiting for the third overtake here. It doesn't look like it's happening. Okay, up the inside, a little bit of contact with the car up in front. Thankfully, we did manage to overtake the other EP3 behind us. Coming through the S's here, got to be very careful of the walls. They do come out very quickly. Honda Civic to our right is looking to make a move, but ultimately it didn't work out in their favour. And it is costing us a little bit of pace from the Civic up in front. Coming into the hairpin braking section. Braking just before the 100 board here. Down to second gear, and here comes lunge 1. I thought there was more people going to lunge there, to be honest. Oh, no, there's lunge 2. Fragger. Absolute move, and Heisel, absolute incredible exit from that corner. No kidding. And the pace they're carrying, I mean, credit where credit is due. I am really struggling to come out the corner as well as they are, to be honest with you. Thankfully, we have a good bit of slipstream behind us, and we can absolutely send it past them. Basically, cut the nose off in that corner there, and try and catch up to position 1. That is really not that far ahead. I think we're going to be able to make a move on this section coming up here where the chicane or bus stop is, because the AI is absolutely dreadful through there and we could just absolutely send it. I mean, there we go, look at that braking point. Really slowing right down, making sure they stay well in between the lines while I'll just do the sendaroo section. Either way, long as it works and we get the position or we can catch up, that's all that matters, because the car behind now is almost a second away and we have gained a bit of time on position 1 there. Look at that. Going for the ultimate move there, flat out through this section here, and you got to brake at the 100 board there and not do what I do here. Forget, see what I mean? The train is distracting. I'm just look at me thinking, Flash, stop staring at that train as it goes past. You know, this is not Train Sim World. This is Gran Turismo 7. You shouldn't be looking at what's going on elsewhere. You should be looking at where you're going. And ultimately, we eventually get the move done on position 1 before the chicane. Now, you're going to see the time we actually gain from going through that chicane absolutely flat out here. And they do not. Although, he is to my right-hand side here. Ultimately, they brake earlier than we do. So we gain a position, touch the curb on the right. There we go, hang it over the left just like that. Out the other side, 1.2 seconds ahead. 1.3. Goes to show. That one section there, the AI does suffer a little bit on. Coming up to Dive Bomb Central. You can see them all coming up on the radar. And thankfully nobody has gone for that. But I did get elbowed out the way coming out of that corner. And like I say, it's absolutely brilliant that you're competitive with the AI. Oh, sorry, no, take that back. The AI is competitive with you to the point that they will stick their elbows out and make themselves known. And it is brilliant like that because it does feel very authentic, very realistic, and that you're racing actual people. Because you've seen plenty of my motorsport videos, the AI there are either P1, 2, 3, possibly 4 sometimes, are insanely quick, that they have unlimited grip and are long gone in the distance, or you overtake them and they think, stuff it, I can't be bothered to race anymore, and they collide with each other, go into a wall, or they just ultimately slow down. And like I say, it's great to see that AI are actually trying their best to beat you and not show too much restraint either, and more than happy to stick an elbow out as long as you don't send you flying off the track. Yet. I'll say yet though. So I've got to give credit where credit's due. The AI is absolutely spot on, almost perfect, and it's been an absolute blast racing, to be honest. I haven't felt any difference to online racing. Looking at the weather here, do you see any weather? I don't see any weather. Start the race, we're going to have a bit of weather, but not yet though. We're starting off the race in position 3, going to soon lose that because this car is awful at leaving the line. I tried the lower revs, tried higher revs, it just doesn't like getting off the start line. Just incredible amounts of wheel spin. Now, there is 3, there is 4, and I think 5 is also looking to make a move, and I just can't seem to get the grip on the inside. There's a bit of a shove, and there they are off into the gravel. I'm not too sure why. See what I mean? A little bit of contact, and they just carry on turning. Fair enough. I think that's as well a lot to do with the Gran Turismo bump physics, where you have contact with another car and send them to infinity. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's a position we haven't lost, and again, it's only racing against AI, so I don't think many feelings were hurt in the making of this video. We do need to catch up to the pack of cars up in front though, because as you can see, position 1 is actually getting away quite well, and that can run away with us here. While I understand we do have 5 laps of this race in total, if that car keeps putting a nail down, we're going to really start struggling to the latter part of this race. So we've got to get our foot down, make our move, make our presence, and absolutely send it. Although coming out this corner is actually not too bad. Actually shifting early to reduce the wheel spin has actually helped coming out at the moment. Oddly enough though, those 2 cars up in front do seem a little bit slow, and they are trying to race each other. Give the older Honda Civic a little bit of a nudge, brakes rather early, and I almost go off the track. There is a bit of a love tap back, almost sending me off the track there, my friend. Okay, can we make the undercut, get past them? Absolutely beautiful. Up the inside, jump in the toe of Fraga up in front, and we may well be able to lose that car behind us. I don't think I'm going to be able to send it through this section here now. The car just doesn't have the grip needed to make such a send, but rather surrender, sit back, relax, and wait for all this to blow over. Now, if you know that line, what film is it from? Let me know down in the comments below. Can we make a move up the inside here? That was another point I wanted to make out. The AI go into defensive lines, and they will defend the corner as they approach it. I thought that was brilliant. That one was unexpected. And I was watching them, I was like, genius. Absolute genius. It goes to show that you can create a very good, very clever AI system that really does mimic, to a certain degree, human abilities of driving, and it still be run by a computer. So, like I say, credit where credit's due, guys. Absolutely brilliant. There is one thing though, I'd like to take a moment out to thank our channel members, which are Andy Good, Sigmatic, Daniel Adams, Crazy 8, AK47, and Spectral Rain. Thank you guys ever so much for supporting the channel, and if you'd like to be part of that leaderboard too, hit that join button down below. Thankfully, we are keeping up with the pack of cars up in front. I expected to catch them a little bit quicker than what I have done, but as you can see, the weather is changing. Not changing for the better, although I'm 90% sure I've read the weather map right and it didn't show any weather approaching, but I think it's going to start raining. It has got very dark very quickly, and the track is starting to get damp, as you can see at the meter at the bottom left. damp is not good because I am on hard tires. We're going to be a bit slippy slidey, I think. You see the track is getting wet as well. I really like this bit of track where you have the bit of a dry line and the wet line. Oh, you can hear it now. It's starting to really rain. Brake, brake, brake. I am so sorry, my friend. Thanks for being my brake. I was looking at the water tank at the bottom left, showing you how wet we are at the moment. And you can really hear it as well. The car is bouncing off that limiter almost. Sounds brilliant though. I've got to give the sound guys credit where credit's due as well. Civic sounds brilliant. And I love thrashing it. It's one of those cars that you can just scream the life out of. It just sounds brilliant all the way through. Okay then. Braking into the section here. Can we make this corner? We can. Tyres are holding on. Absolutely brilliant there. Although again, the Honda Civic up in front did have a far better exit than ourselves. We are not too much at a disadvantage. Speed will be our favour here. Speed is our king. 3 laps remaining of this race to go and only 1 position to overtake. Can it be done? Fingers crossed we're not that far away. It's 1 mistake of the AI away or 1 final send from ourselves that we can make it work. Honda Civic to our back right is looking to make a move and ultimately decided it wasn't optimal, and thankfully they did, because I think we may have had a situation upon ourselves. Sadly, I think they are going to make a lunge at any point soon, because the Honda Civic in front is holding actually all of us up ever so slightly, and the cars behind are feeling their way around, looking for a gap. They're going to go for it at any moment, and I think this is where we are going to start losing out. By the looks of it, they found their moment. They're going up the inside, and I'm part of a sandwich. Look at how wide that Civic's going, just pretty much cutting us all off. Braking early, defending that corner, and ultimately go ever so slightly off track. Now, this has set up a situation where I think I've actually really upset that Honda Civic driver, because eventually getting off that limiter, coming around this corner now, get almost elbowed off the track here, and dive bombed by pretty much everybody that's caught up to both of us. And the Honda Civic did look to make a move on our left and ultimately went and met the wall. Track does eventually dry up though, so we have quite a nice dry line. They did retaliate. They did retaliate. That's the same one that hit me a moment ago, went into the wall, and I have lost 3 positions because of that. Couldn't really come at any worse of a time because we're lap 4 or 5, and there really isn't much ground to make up. Thankfully, like you can see, the track is drying out and we are having dry lines put in to a certain degree. If we can keep the car on the right on the wet, we can run the dry line, get a better exit, just like that. We only have 1 position to try and claim back, although they are 1 second ahead. Thankfully, the Civic is all about speed. These next couple of sections is all about speed as well. Final lap though, we are only 6 tenths away from the car up in front. Gonna see if we can kind of reel them in on this point here, because I think this is also a little bit of a weak spot of the AI. They don't seem to be very fast through this section here. Not grumbling though, because we need the help we can get. It's our final lap and we need to get past this person up in front so we can gain the maximum amount of credit and all the 20 stars of completing this race. And I've got to be honest, the Power Pack DLC, I think it's actually pretty good. I'm really enjoying it, and again, I'm really enjoying racing the AI, and that's not something I usually enjoy racing against. You know, I like racing against people in online races, and this Civic up in front is putting one hell of a battle up, because I'm really struggling to find an aerial ground that I can exploit to a certain degree to actually get past them. And you can see I'm really trying to maximize the track limits in this Civic, and hopefully I can stick my nose up the inside here, a little bit of elbow to stay ourselves on the track. And I was going to try and do a cutback, but daft of me to do or even think of that with a car that doesn't handle all that well. Maybe we'll be able to make it out the other side of Spoon, or at least down the back straight here. fingers crossed, because we really are cutting this very, very fine. There we go, up the inside there, side by side with the Honda Civic to our right, trying to stay on the dry patch as much as we can, but keeping that inside line. Ultimately, they back out and tuck in behind us. I go so far wide that I got a different postcode. Honda Civic does cut up the inside. There's a drag race to the end. Every gear shift matters, because you saw the speed I lost from that one gear shift. Every revolution of this engine is going to count. Ultimately, they back out, tuck in behind us. We managed to make it out the other side in position 1. Just got to hold it for these next 3 corners. Braking down second gear. Don't butcher it, Flash. You've got it onto the curb on the left. Bringing it back out. Look at that. We actually have a bit of a lead to our favour. 3 attempts. Losing a little bit. Can't get under that power early enough. But crossing that line in position 1. Thank you all for watching.